Hello, Hoopaholics, and welcome back to the Film Room. I'm Coach Spins. This is presented to you by NBA Math, as we're looking at how to perform a double team in the post in the NBA. For most teams, the point of a double team is simple. Force the ball out of the hands of a post player and either create a turnover or have somebody else on the court shoot the basketball. Now you'll notice that there are two different types of ways to double team the post, and get a feel for each of them as you watch these clips. One is to double team as soon as the post player catches the basketball. The other is to double as soon as he bounces it. We call those doubling on the catch and doubling after the catch. If a team chooses to double on the bounce, the reason they do so is to befuddle the offensive player as soon as he turns his back to the defense or the basket. Notice once Kevin Love engages in his spin, he's met with the double team. Same here with Vooch, as his hard bounce baseline drives right into the double. But no matter where the trap comes from, you'll see the three help defenders always get into the same positions. The player lowest opposite the ball gets his butt to the baseline and is ready to anticipate any skip that comes to the opposite corner. When the double team comes from the baseline side, this player usually drops down from the wing. We call that sink and fill. The defender closest to the top side now anticipates any pass that comes out to the wing on the ball side. He is really aggressive in trying to get steals. The third defender has the responsibility to zone up, splitting the other two offensive players, and sometimes dropping into the lane to take any cutters that may slip towards the basket. Cutters off the ball can ruin the simple rotations here, forcing Bledsoe to become the free safety and split the other two offensive players. He does a great job reading the play and gets the steal. Notice the way defenses scramble out after they double team on the bounce. Here Jamal Crawford anticipates and fills over to the ball. Now Teague fills up on Bogdanovich, and the Timberwolves scramble to the weak side where they can contest a shot on the flow of the ball. Matchups rarely are the same after double teaming the post, and the point is solely to get a contested shot out of it. But in order for there to be a double team, the post player has to catch it on a definitive side of the floor. Here Giannis Antetokounmpo catches in the middle of the floor, and when they go to double team on the catch, there is no clear rotation to get to the wide open player on the court. The vast majority of double teams also come from the player lowest opposite the ball. That requires the initial post defender to sit on the inside and top shoulder, forcing the offensive player to spin into the double team. This is particularly important when the help comes off of the bounce. The same principles apply whether the offensive player is face up or back to the basket. Most offenses also involve cutters, so the help requirements are not always scripted perfectly. Here Dennis Schroeder is lowered into his help position by a cut from top to opposite corner. He then knifes in from behind and gets the steal for Atlanta. A successful double teaming of the post almost always hinges on that sink and fill defender, the now lowest opposite guy on the floor. If a steal comes, it's usually because he's in the right position. When they give up an open basket, it is usually because he doesn't do his job and get his butt to the baseline. Here the Bucks don't get their sink and fill into the right position, and Giannis Antetokounmpo is late to split the back two. That creates a scrambled situation where the Detroit Pistons get a wide open look from three. But movement from the offensive players without the ball can create strange situations for the defense to rotate out of. The Boston Celtics have an automatic call for whenever they're double teamed in the post. As soon as the ball goes in, the player highest on the opposite wing cuts to the front of the rim, applying pressure on the weak side defenders. Once this happens, he usually gets a wide open layup. Some teams will double team from the top side though, and doing this is mighty dangerous. The player left initially unguarded is now only one pass away, where the post player can see him on the strong side. Any type of off-ball movement from the other 3 players on the floor will give up a wide-open three-pointer. A large burden is now placed on the highest defender, in this case Avery Bradley. He either has to fully commit to the ball as it gets swung out of the post and create a scramble situation on the weak side, or stay put and give up that uncontested 3. Either way, it's a lose-lose for the defense. Well, that's a wrap on this episode of The Film Room. I'm Coach Spins. Thanks for watching, and we hope you learned something about double teaming the post in the NBA.